You know, usually when you think about the internet, you think of it as like a physical place you go to visit. You type in a destination, you pull up to a website, you look around the storefront, check out the displays, and then you decide what you want to do. It's familiar, it's predictable.
Right, yeah, it's a highly visual, highly interactive environment. And it's entirely driven by you, right? The
Yeah.
human steering the ship and actually clicking the links.
Exactly. But then you wake up one morning and the fundamental architecture of how we find things has just completely shifted under our feet. Suddenly, that storefront you're used to visiting has, well, it has a bouncer, a personal shopper, and a librarian standing out front.
All intercepting your customers.
Yes,
Mhm.
intercepting them and doing all the work for them. So on July 8, 2026, the internet basically broke for traditional marketers.
I mean, it is the absolute definition of a paradigm shift. We are looking at a completely rewritten digital landscape.
Yeah.
And if you're still playing by the old rules, you're practically invisible.
Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we are pulling directly from the SEO Daily Technology Report dated July 8, 2026, to really try to understand this absolute earthquake in the search landscape. Because the internet just got a massive structural software update.
Huge. Everything we thought we knew about searching the web has just been turned on its head.
Right. And our mission today is to extract exactly what you need to know to survive and, honestly, to thrive in this new environment. So, okay, let's unpack this. To understand the new rules of the game, we can't just look at websites anymore. We really have to look at the new front door to the internet.
The search box.
Yeah, the completely redesigned Google search box.
Because that front door hasn't just been repainted, it's been entirely rebuilt from the foundation up.
Yeah.
So on May 19th, 2026, at Google I/O, Google officially made AI mode the default search experience worldwide.
Worldwide, that is so crazy.
Yeah, powered by their Gemini 3.5 Flash model. And think about what the search box used to be for, over 25 years? Just a blank static line waiting for you to type a few keywords.
Right, maybe you get an autocomplete guess.
Exactly. But now,
Yeah.
it is a full multimodal workspace. It expands as you interact with it. So it accepts text, sure, but you can also drop in images, raw data files, videos. You can even use your open Chrome tabs as input.
Which is just wild to think about from a user perspective. Like, you can literally drag a massive spreadsheet of expenses into the search bar and just type, find me a sauce tool that automatically categorizes these exact columns, and the AI just does it.
It does the heavy lifting for you, yeah.
And because of that old autocomplete we all relied on to guess what people were searching for, that's completely gone.
Yeah, irrelevant now.
It's been replaced by dynamic AI-powered suggestions that change based on whatever you just dragged into the box. And the adoption rate here is just staggering. The July 8th report notes that AI mode queries have more than doubled every single quarter since launch.
Every quarter.
Yeah. We're looking at over 1 billion monthly active AI mode users. But, okay, here's the data point that literally made my jaw drop, the zero-click metrics.
Oh, yeah. The zero-click reality is here, and it is aggressive.
Aggressive is like an understatement. AI mode's zero-click rate is hovering at about 93%.
93. Just massive.
Pew Research actually tracked nearly 69,000 real-world searches. And they found that the moment an AI summary appears at the top of the page, user clicks plummet from 15% down to 8%.
Right.
That is a 47% relative drop in traffic. Yet somehow the total volume of searches happening is at an all-time high.
What's fascinating here is the paradox we're seeing in human behavior.
Yeah.
People are actually searching more than ever before.
Really? Even with the drops?
Yeah, but they are using much longer, incredibly specific, highly nuanced queries because they know the Gemini 3.5 model can handle the complexity. But because they are getting answers so rapidly and, so comprehensively right there on the search interface, they simply don't need to click through to the classic 10 blue links.
Right. Why click when the answer is just right there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those blue links still exist, of course, further down the page, but they've become secondary artifacts. The default path now just pulls you into a continuous conversational interface from your very first keystroke.
Okay, wait, stop. I have to play devil's advocate here because if I'm listening to this, I am panicking.
I get that.
A 47% drop in clicks, a 93% zero-click rate. Like, if 9 out of 10 people never actually visit my website, why am I even paying for hosting? Convince me not to just delete my website right now and give up. Are the 10 blue links totally dead?
I completely understand the panic, but do not delete your website. The traffic isn't dying, it's evolving.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, if you rely solely on vanity metrics like raw top-of-funnel click volume, it looks grim, but you are losing the people who are just bouncing in for a quick answer anyway. The clicks that do happen now are hyper-qualified.
Oh, interesting.
Right? If a user actually clicks through an AI summary to get to your site, they aren't just browsing. They are deeply invested in your specific entity, your research, or your product. The 10 blue links are only on life support if you're trying to win the old game of raw volume. To survive now, you have to stop optimizing for clicks and start optimizing for AI citations.
Okay, that makes sense. If the AI is intercepting the customer, I don't want to fight the AI. I want the AI to recommend me.
Precisely.
Which means we are transitioning from traditional click hunting to Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO. The report explicitly states that GEO is the fastest growing digital discipline of 2026.
Without a doubt.
So this is a practice of optimizing your content to appear as the sourced answer in, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google's AI overviews, Gemini, Claude, all of them.
Yeah, traditional SEO was about pleasing a very rigid ranking algorithm based on keywords and links. GEO is about making your content structurally digestible and highly citable by large language models. And the actual tactics to do this are completely different from what we did even 3 years ago. For instance, we're now seeing the mass implementation of llms.txt files.
Okay, let's break that down because this is crucial. In the old days, we had robots.txt, which was basically a keep out sign, or a traffic cop telling search engine crawlers which pages they weren't allowed to look at. But llms.txt does the exact opposite, right?
Exactly. An llms.txt file is essentially a welcome mat. It's a curated roadmap for an AI bot. Instead of just letting an AI scrape your entire site and, hoping it figures out what's important, you use this file to say, here's our most priority, factual, up-to-date information.
So you're just handing it over.
Yeah, stripped of all marketing fluff, neatly formatted and marked down so the model can ingest it perfectly. You are feeding the machine exactly what it needs to cite you accurately.
And it completely changes how we write, too. The report talks about this idea of answer-first writing.
Oh, yes, the recipe blog problem.
Right. You can't write a 1,000-word blog post about your grandmother's summer in Tuscany just to share a pasta recipe anymore. You have to put a structured table of ingredients right at the top, clearly stated, because the AI just wants to extract the facts. I was actually thinking about this.
Yeah.
Traditional SEO was basically like trying to win a popularity contest with a high school algorithm. You just needed the most links, you had to say the right keywords the loudest, and you'd win prom king.
That's a great way to put it.
But GEO is like trying to ensure you get cited in a rigorous college term paper that's being written by an AI.
That is a brilliant analogy. The AI writing the term paper doesn't care if you're the most popular kid in school. It cares if your facts are clearly stated, structurally sound, and sourced from a recognized, trusted authority.
So what does this all mean? Like, if I'm managing digital strategy for a brand right now, how do I actually structure my keyword targeting? Because the report mentions a dual-track keyword approach, which suggests we shouldn't totally abandon the old ways either.
And that's the tightrope marketers have to walk right now. A dual-track approach means splitting your targets into two distinct buckets. Bucket 1 is made up of complex informational queries that reliably trigger AI answers.
Oh, okay.
For these, your new position 1 isn't a link. It's simply getting cited by the AI as the source of truth. Then, bucket 2 consists of highly transactional or localized queries where traditional search results still heavily appear. And there, you still fight for those clicks.
Right, because people still want a local plumber or something.
Exactly. But the core driver for both buckets, and especially for getting cited by the AI, is brand trust. The report highlights an analysis by Cyrus Shepard of over 400 winning and losing sites.
The brand SEO study, right?
Yeah, and the definitive conclusion: a strong, recognizable brand is the single top predictor of organic traffic gains in 2026.
Which means SEO and public relations are now basically the exact same department.
They are completely intertwined. AI systems aren't just looking for a string of text on a page that happens to match a user's query anymore. They are actively mapping out relationships between people, companies, and products in a massive knowledge graph.
So they know who is who.
Right. If your brand has robust PR coverage, thousands of positive user reviews, active mentions in Reddit forums, and a strong YouTube presence, the AI recognizes you as a validated entity. It wants to cite you because citing a trusted brand makes the AI's own answer look more credible to the end user. It's a symbiotic relationship built on trust.
Okay, but let's push into the mechanics of this a bit. If the AI is acting like a rigorous college grader writing a term paper based on trusted brands, how does it actually know if your facts are current? Because, I mean, if an LLM cites outdated data from a trusted brand, the AI looks foolish and the user loses trust in the AI.
And that introduces the massive problem of content decay, which generative engines absolutely despise. LLMs are engineered to provide the most current, accurate answer possible. If we connect this to the bigger picture, in the AI era, fresh, accurate data isn't just a nice-to-have preference for your users.
It's a requirement.
It is a strict technical prerequisite for the AI.
Mm-hmm.
If an AI reads your site and detects conflicting numbers or advice from, say, 2022, it won't just rank you lower, it will drop you from its source list entirely.
Wow. And that is exactly why the report flags a tool called eetclean.com as the standout platform of 2026. It specifically solves this exact problem.
It's incredible for this.
Yeah, what ETClean does is perform a massive freshness audit. It scans your entire content library and uses AI to flag old statistics, broken claims, or outdated advice. It actually assigns your site an EEAT score, experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
And it doesn't just score you.
Right. The best part is it gives you actionable triage. It tells you exactly what to update, what to leave alone, and what is so outdated, you just need to delete it immediately. It's your frontline defense against content decay.
It's vital. But keeping your text fresh is only half the battle. The July 8th report gets into some. Think of JSON-LD and structured data like the Dewey Decimal System in a library. When the AI librarian walks into your website, it doesn't want to read every single page to figure out what you do. JSON-LD is a lightweight coding format that cleanly organizes your data, like your product prices, your business hours, or your frequently asked questions, so the AI can instantly extract it without guessing.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why FAQ schema has surged so much. It hands the AI a prepackaged Q&A that it can easily serve to a user.
Okay, so JSON-LD is the Dewey Decimal System that makes it easy to find things, but the report also raises a massive red flag about JavaScript and rendering. It literally says server-side HTML rendering is now virtually mandatory. What does that actually mean for the average site owner?
Let's use a physical book analogy for this one. If eClean ensures the words in your book are factually accurate, your rendering setup determines if the book can actually be opened. For years, web developers loved using client-side JavaScript to build flashy, interactive, beautiful pages. The problem is, an AI crawler is built for speed. It has a limited crawl budget. Processing and executing complex JavaScript in a browser environment is slow, and it's expensive for an AI bot. So they often just don't do it.
So wait, if your website relies on JavaScript to load the actual text on the page,
the AI crawler just sees a blank page. To the bot, your book is essentially glued shut. Server-side rendering solves this by doing all the heavy lifting on your server first and then handing the AI bot a fully rendered, easy-to-read HTML document.
so you do the work for them.
Exactly. If you force the bot to execute JavaScript to find your content, it will bounce, and your brilliant, fresh content effectively doesn't exist to the language model. This is such a critical failure point that tools like Screaming Frog SEO Spider now use AI to prioritize these specific technical issues.
Wow.
Yeah, showing you exactly how much traffic you're losing because your JavaScript is blocking the bots.
Glued shut. That paints a terrifying picture for anyone with a heavily interactive site. So we've established we need fresh content, organized like a Dewey Decimal System, delivered on a silver platter without JavaScript blocking the way.
You got it.
But let's push even further into the back end, because we've only talked about how AI reads content to answer questions. Here's where it gets really interesting. What happens when the user doesn't just want information? What if they want to take an action, like booking a flight, reserving a table, or actually buying a pair of shoes directly from that AI search interface?
Right. This is where we cross the frontier into agentic SEO and back-end optimization. We are moving from AI that just passively answers you to autonomous AI agents that take action on your behalf.
Yes. And the report highlights two massive new protocols here. First is WebMCP, the Model Context Protocol. This is a browser-level standard co-developed by Google and Microsoft. And what it does is fascinating. It basically allows a website to expose its key actions, like its checkout cart, its search bar, or its lead forms, as structured tools that an AI agent can securely call directly via an API.
It's a game changer.
And for e-commerce specifically, there's ACP, the Agentic Commerce Protocol. which lets these AI assistants securely facilitate a direct purchase without the user ever visiting your store.
Which completely transforms the very concept of a website.
Right. Think about the old internet, like a traditional retail store.
Hmm.
The user walks through the front door, browses the aisles, looks at your nice banner displays, physically puts something in a cart, and goes to the cash register to check themselves out.
Yeah, a visual experience.
But agentic SEO turns your website into a wholesale warehouse. The AI bots are just delivery trucks. They drive right past your beautiful storefront, go straight to the loading dock in the back via an API, grab the exact product the user asked for, process the payment securely, and leave.
Without ever seeing the homepage.
Right. They never once see your web design or your carefully crafted branding.
It's a brilliant analogy, and honestly, it carries profound implications for the survival of businesses. In 2026, SEO teams are no longer just optimizing web pages for human eyeballs. They have to ensure their APIs, their databases, and their core content structures are accessible and usable by autonomous agents.
So it's all back end now.
Basically, if your brand's back-end systems aren't structured to talk to WebMCP or ACP, you won't just rank lower in a search, you will be entirely invisible. When a consumer tells their smart glasses, buy my usual running shoes in a size 10, the AI agent will simply bypass your brand entirely if it can't seamlessly connect to your loading dock.
Invisible. Again, the stakes are just incredibly high. You're telling me I need to be a PR expert to build brand trust, a semantic writer to satisfy GEO, a technical architect to fix my server-side rendering, and a database engineer to expose my APIs for agentic SEO.
It sounds like a lot when you list it out like that.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
How does one team possibly track all of this? Who is building the dashboard for this crazy new internet?
Well, that brings us to the massive tooling arms race that the July 8th report details. The legacy SEO giants haven't disappeared. They've actually aggressively re-engineered their platforms to measure this exact reality. But you can't just rely on one tool to do everything anymore.
Right. Let's look at the big three mentioned in the report: Semrush, Ahrefs, and Surfer SEO. They all have AI toolkits now, but they serve completely different mechanics. Let's start with Semrush. They were recently supercharged by an Adobe acquisition, and their 2026 feature set includes this AI Visibility Toolkit.
Right, their tracking is huge.
Yeah, they are tracking how often your brand is mentioned across ChatGPT, Gemini, and AI overviews, using a database of over 100 million prompts. And they have an AI PR toolkit specifically designed to show you which external websites the AI tools cite most often, so you know exactly who to pitch for PR.
Exactly. If your focus is strictly on PR and building that entity authority and brand trust we talked about, Semrush is your command center. It shows you the map of the AI's brain, basically. But then you have Ahrefs.
Right. Ahrefs is still the undisputed king of the raw plumbing. Their link index refreshes every 15 to 30 minutes for top domains, which is just an insane amount of data processing.
It really is.
They've added an AI site explorer specifically to spot toxic link patterns and structural anomalies, alongside tracking AI overviews.
Ahrefs is where the technical architects live. When you are wrestling with whether your server-side rendering is working or trying to figure out if your JSON LD is correctly formatted, Ahrefs gives technical SEOs the unvarnished, rapidly updating infrastructure data they need without any dashboard fluff.
And finally, there's Surfer SEO. They are leading the actual content creation side. Their NLP natural language processing editor now tracks AI visibility across multiple LLMs. It lets you monitor up to 50 specific prompts to see how your exact paragraphs perform in generative search.
Surfer is the tool for the writers and editors. When you are actually sitting down to write that answer first, highly citable content, Surfer provides the semantic roadmap. It tells you exactly what terms to include and how to structure your sentences to ensure you get the exact notes the LLMs are looking for to extract your facts.
Got it.
So serious marketing teams aren't looking for one must-have tool. They are distributing these distinct functions across their PR, technical, and editorial departments.
It takes a village, or at least a very well-integrated tech stack, to conquer the 2026 search landscape. So let's bring it all home.
Yeah.
We set out on this deep dive to understand the earthquake detailed in the SEO Daily Technology Report from July 8th, 2026. And the new reality is stark.
Very stark.
The front door to the internet has fundamentally changed. Google's AI mode default means the zero-click reality is here, intercepting users before they ever reach your site. To survive, you have to optimize for AI citation through Generative Engine Optimization. You need to build unshakable brand authority everywhere so the AI trusts you. You have to fiercely guard your content's freshness with tools like EE Clean and ensure your server-side rendering isn't gluing your book shut. And maybe most importantly, you have to open up your warehouse loading docks by preparing your back-end APIs for agentic buyers using protocols like WebMCP.
It is a total fundamental rewiring of how digital commerce operates.
Mm-hmm.
The transition from human-centric browsing to machine-centric extraction requires an entirely new philosophy, from your marketing department's PR efforts right down to your server architecture.
It's been an absolute masterclass going through this data. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you walk away feeling informed, empowered, and ready to re-engineer your strategy for this wild new digital landscape.
Before we go, though, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. We talked heavily about agentic SEO and how you essentially have to turn your website into a wholesale warehouse for AI robots to grab products and data via an API. If that trend continues, and these autonomous AI assistants start doing all our browsing, reading, and shopping for us completely behind the scenes, will human-facing web design eventually become completely obsolete? Are we rapidly moving toward an internet that is nothing more than machines quietly talking to machines in the dark?
Wow. Now that is an image, a dark forest internet with no storefronts, no banners, no graphic design, just invisible personal shoppers exchanging code in the background. Something for you to chew on until next time. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.